Good day everyone and welcome to Exile News, the weekly show that brings you all the important news and informations on Path of Exile. And the first news we got this week has been the preview of a new skill called Dark Pact. Dark Pact is an AoE skill which is centered around the casters, and when you cast you basically remove part of your life as a fuel for the casting. If you cast it normally, it will be around yourself and it will have increased damage and area. However, if you have skeletons summoned, the skill will be cast around those skeletons and will chain between them, and it will use their own life. So you can choose how to use it. If you are against a boss, you might want to use skeletons to actually cast it from distance and do not keep yourself safe. However, you might just want to use it on yourself normally because it's stronger, it's larger, and that kind of things. Although it removes your life, it really removes it directly. It's not damage you take, it is just removed. So cast 1 damage taken, and then those kind of things do not work. And you can see the skill in action here. It's pretty nice. I mean, it's just another chaos skill. I'm not very much a fan of the actual art of the skill, but still I can definitely see it used. Also, since it removes life, you might just want a high regeneration if you can't find any way to leech the thing, and with the new Mind Over Matter meta which is going to come, that might just work out pretty damn well, although we'll have to see about that. We also got some new uniques spoiled for us, and the first one is the Speaker's Wreath, which is a minion dexterity build enabler kind of things, because it has increased minion attack speed and move speed per 50 dexterity, so this might actually be pretty interesting for some different minion builds. Also, minions can only kill ignited enemies, although it minion hits, so maybe if you have a degen on your minion, like you're using the lantern bearers, they're just gonna kill the enemies anyway, but it opens up for some culling, so that's definitely an interesting item over there. Very controversial item here, Tinker Skins, which looked at the beginning really good for trappers, because it has of course increased cooldown recovery speed for throwing traps, which is one of the major things for trappers, and then it has a chance to gain frenzy charges when your trap is triggered by an enemy, and a chance to gain phasing. The problem is that most of the times you just get one trap triggered and the other one just triggers by the chain reaction point in the passive tree. Also, most of the times you just have a very short duration on your traps, so they trigger by themselves. So that was already a bit of a problem there. The other problem is that the charges have been kind of changed a little bit, so frenzy charges now work only with attack skills, and this kind of kills most of the traps, or at least most of the interesting traps which are available in the game and which are traps by themselves. Of course, you can still use like puncture trap and that kind of stuff, although I don't think that's as fun as the other traps, like the ice ones or the lightning ones. But anyway, that's just my opinion. We'll see how that goes. There's still some beta time in there. Soul Tether, it's an interesting belt because basically it removes the normal functionality from your energy shield and it makes it a buffer for your life leech. So basically your energy shield starts from 0 and does not recover, although when you leech, if you are full life, you basically leech into your energy shield, so you fill up your energy shield, and it is a temporary shield, so it depletes itself over time if you're not fighting. But if you're fighting, it will have this added shield. So it's actually pretty interesting. I wonder how that works with the Endless Hunger thing. But still, I can definitely see this working for a Lich character. Maybe Lich will actually have a better role in the game, considering Vault Pact out of the game. We'll have to see how that goes as well. And then there's Hand Smite, which is a new Midnight Blade with a lot of physical damage, -1 to maximum frenzy charges, a lot of strength requirement as well, increasing 50% of the critical strike multiplier while at maximum frenzy charges, which should be pretty easy to reach considering the -1 to frenzy charges. However, when you have no frenzy charges, you have an increased area of effect. Although the biggest downside is the movement attack skills have 40% reduced attack speed. So maybe this works with, I don't know, shield charge, which is based on your movement speed as well, but I don't know. I feel like this is not going to be really interesting. I mean, there is another Duressa unique, which is designed to work both at maximum or minimum frenzy charges. The problem is that hybrid things rarely works unless there is one of their stats that is good enough to be worth the whole item. But we'll have to see how that goes. I'm sure some people will try to make a build with this. There's also another unrelated unique, or maybe two even, because we saw those in the artworks a week ago. So we'll see, maybe there's going to be some connection between those. Anyway, we also got the preview of Gerakan, which is the Queen of the Wind, and it's going to be one of the bosses in Act 9. Personally, I think it's going to be the Duressa's substitute in the kind of new pit, which is going to, of course, be in Act 9, unless Act 9 is completely different from Act 4, which will be incredibly amazing, but we will only be able to see that when the game comes out, because there's not going to be any Act 9 in the beta, nor Act 10, and the fight looks pretty interesting. It's definitely quite mechanical, and you can dodge everything, which is something I like from every fight. So yeah, it's going to be gear related, but also very much skill related, and that's how a fight should be. Not gonna show the video, might be a very big spoiler, so decide yourself if you actually want to see the fight or not. And other than that, the Xbox One beta is now live. If you managed to miss this and you have an Xbox, definitely check the link I'll put in the description below, because you can sign up for a beta here on the link in the text here. The beta is going to run for 3 weeks, they say, so it's pretty much going to launch alongside the normal expansion, which is going to be really cool, or maybe a bit later, but still, it's incredible how far ahead the beta is. Most of the problems for the beta for GGG are probably going to be like if the interface is in the right positions, if it doesn't clutter the screens too much, if the controls, for example, for the potions are good enough, if looting it feels good enough, and that kind of stuff. But other than that, I'm pretty sure the game itself works really damn well. So yeah, if you have an Xbox One, finally a game that's worth it. Other than that, we also got the new Harbinger Challenge League explained. So basically there's these Harbinger spirits. You can't hurt them yourself, but they will summon minions, and you hit the minions, and it will basically hit the Harbinger itself until it disappears. So it sounds to me like a moving Perandus, where you just go to a place, there's a bunch of monsters with, of course, different characteristics. They will have different skills. You can see here there's like areas of curses and ice things flying over the place. And yeah, basically you kill these things over and over until the Harbinger dies itself. Feels like Perandus to me, and Perandus was a pretty damn good league, so probably going to be really cool. Also, these blue flames, if they don't become a microtransaction, I'm gonna be so mad. Other than that, there's going to be new shard types, for example, a Chaos Shard, Regal Shard, Exalted Shard, Mirror Shard, and those kind of things. And I have to open a parenthesis here. For all of these shards, I want a space into the actual microtransaction tab for currency, because otherwise people are just going to be so mad. It's going to clutter anything, as usual. When the GGG adds all of these things, there's an Engineer Shard, Binding Shard, we still don't know what those are, Ancient Shard as well, what the hell is that? However, two new orbs are the Harbinger Orb, which reforges a map as another of a higher tier, so that's definitely really good. It's probably going to be pretty rare. And the Orb of Horizons, which reforges a map as another of the same tier, which is pretty interesting if you have that crematorium you don't like to run, if you have that cells you really hate the layout of, you can just reforge it into something else. So that's pretty interesting. One thing I don't like is that every shard needs 20 to actually become one single orb, where normal shards like fusing and all the kind of stuff, well, not fusing because it doesn't have shard, but other items don't really necessarily need 20. And I feel like having like 10 of a stack or something that differentiates them might be a little bit of difference. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. But still, there's also going to be interesting new uniques, and the fun part is that if you actually put them in your inventory in the right shape, they fuse into the unique. So you can see these pieces, and they fuse into the Unshattered Wheel, which is a pretty damn interesting shield, both increasing channel skills damage, granting a lot of interesting stuff, as well as the Summon Harbinger Focus skill, which is going to empower you. Maybe your minions might be incredibly strong with a minion build. We'll see about that. And notice the flavor text, which is pretty different from usual, because they're Harbingers. Technically, we don't know where they come from, we don't know who they are, and they have an entirely different language. So here's a new language, and I won't be surprised if this is actually a new language, or rather something that GGG kind of translated letter by letter. Definitely someone will try to find it out. Also, of course, there's going to be challenges, and as usual, when you complete 12 challenges, you will get the blue eyes, glowing eyes effect, which is, I don't know, I mean, you can rarely see an eye effect on your character, but still, I'm glad it's not one of the usual effects that you have 20 of, like weapon effects and those kind of things, although this blue will be amazing with anything. There's also a crown effect at the 24th challenge, the Harbinger crown effect, which is not shown either because it conflicts with the eyes, so you can only wear one, or because it's still not ready and GGG decided not to show it. And at 36 challenges, there is going to be the Harbinger character's effect, which is this one on the bottom over here, which looks really cool. Hopefully it actually spins around, so we'll have to see how that goes. There's also going to be the usual totem from the 19th challenge onward, and there are going to be new supporter packs, both with $30 and $60, so we'll see how that goes. These packs will be available at the release of the 3.0, which is of course on the 4th of August. And one last very quick thing is the fact that the Legacy League will end on the 1st of August, and this is displayed in local time, so it's 12 AM for me. Check the link I'll put in the description below to this page, so you will be able to see exactly when it ends for yourself as well. And this was a very interesting week. Next time it's going to be the launch before the next news, so good luck everyone, enjoy the beta, and yeah, I guess that was really all for this week. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below. Also, if you want to remain updated every week, be sure to subscribe to my channel. So that was all, I've been your host Giorgio, and I'll see you guys the next time.